Say what you will about YouTube, and hopefully it's largely negative, but I think that those of us who are creators on this platform have become more familiar than we bargained to with US copyright laws, particularly fair use. Pro tip, guys, you can do just about anything you want if you cut the sound out and make clips 5 seconds or less. No doubt you have heard there are some popular IPs that have just entered the public domain. IP stands for intellectual property, and by popular, I mean Mickey Mouse. This being the Mickey Mouse of Walt Disney's Steamboat Willie short. Now, this means that you can kind of do what you want. You can put up Steamboat Willie with ads on your YouTube channel, and nobody can stop you. Originally, the Founding Fathers intended for copyrights to last for 14 years with the ability to renew them once. This was then changed to 28 years. Then, sure enough, a full 180 years later, in 1976, it's extended to either 75 years or the life of the author plus 50 years. And finally, the Sonny Bono Copyright Term Extension Act of 1998, also called the Mickey Mouse Protection Act, increasing copyright to 95 years after publication, or the life of the author plus 70 years. Now, I'm sure that when the Founding Fathers thought this up, they were intending for authors to have rights, and that sure seems reasonable, but now we are finding that it's not the authors who are the ones who are concerned about the copyright, it's the companies that hold the intellectual property. This is why Disney is willing to pay $4 billion to acquire Lucasfilm. I think it's also worth noting that only companies have the capability to lobby Congress. What a great system we have. And so it is for their interest and their interest alone that these terms have been extended as far as they have. Actually, it surprises me that the terms aren't in perpetuity. And frankly, I believe if a film is selected for preservation by the Library of Congress, well, it should be in public domain and made freely available for viewing. Now, of course, YouTube being the platform of nostalgia baiting hacks, it doesn't surprise me that many have ran with this news in the wrong direction. For example, Dave Cullen seems to think public domain exists to harvest fan films.
Imagine what would happen if lots of the big franchises of today were already in the public domain. That would mean that writers, independent filmmakers, could produce works based on these creations.
And I suppose I can't blame Dave for thinking along these terms because those who lack creativity are willing to hop aboard a franchise and abuse other people's characters. But if we consider something like Star Wars as a story shared with the public, does it feel right that Disney owns that story? Or is it the public's by now? I suppose one way to look at it is to say that Disney purchased exclusive rights to make official Star Wars media. But when the time comes that Star Wars enters the public domain, will there be thirst to, oh hey, I can finally use Han Solo? And Dave's imagination is way too optimistic about all of the great opportunities out there in fan films. Oh yeah, because as we know, when the internet gets a hold of anything, the first thing that's going to happen is porn. There will certainly come a time when you wouldn't want your great-great-great-great-great-grandkids knowing anything about Spider-Man because simply looking him up will be not safe for work. Though the direction we're headed, maybe that won't even be a term. It's sad that copyright law has drifted away from protecting a creator, and now it's about protecting a company's interests. And more frequently than not, a company that had no hand in the creation of the intellectual property. But the saving grace of copyright expiration shouldn't be salivating over the bright future of fan fiction. Instead, it's the American government saying, company, you've had your time to make money with this, now give us something new. In fact, I believe we need more laws to encourage and promote new creative endeavors. A remaster or remake of a video game shouldn't be sold at full price. Hell, I'd like to see film sequels have a discounted ticket. But in the meantime, you can celebrate public domain with my Steamboat Willie Mickey public domain t-shirt. Link in the description and pinned comment.
If you appreciate a YouTube channel that doesn't just pad out content to get to the 8-minute mark so that it can hammer you with ad breaks, then you should subscribe to my son's channel. You just got done watching it.